You are listening to a Dynamic Works Productions podcast. This show is available on iTunes, Stitcher Radio Network, and many, many more podcast services around the world. You can find all our content, music, videos, books, podcasts, and more on our website, www.dynamicworksproductions.com. Have questions, comments, or concerns for us? Head on over to the social tab on www.dynamicworksproductions.com if you'd like to talk to us. Now, on with the show. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another fantastic, almost celebratorily anniversary. That was awful. That was terrible. Episode of the Fork in Your Ear podcast. I'm your host, as always, author, podcaster, gamer, Tim, K.A. Trotter. Joining me today is the Dream Team, the original co-founders, co-creators with me of the Fork in Your Ear podcast. The one, the only, Damian Newman.
Hey, what's happening, man?
And as has been per usual, the masterful, the Bushmaster of callouts, the Buster of the Knuckles, the creator of the RNG cast, Mike List.
What's going on, Tim? How's it going, Dave?
What's going on, man?
Alrighty. And as usual, the Fork in Your Ear is a weekly podcast, topical podcast about life, technology, gaming, and entertainment. We've been doing this thing this fall where we roll a dice to determine whether we'll be talking about life, technology, entertainment, or gaming first. So we're going to roll that dice and see what we got for our first area of topical conversation. And that's a 6, so that equates to entertainment. I don't particularly have much to say on entertainment other than I know the what the hell is it called? Big budget movie with all the famous actors from Kenneth Branagh to Johnny Depp, Murder on the Orient Express from author Agatha Christie's mind is now a major motion picture. And I hear it's really good. I think IGN gave it like a 9.5 or something ridiculous. Like, it's a fantastic murder mystery movie. I'm a big fan of the book, and there's a BBC audio production of it that is also fantastic that I listened to as a kid. So I'm actually really looking forward to it. I think it'll be probably pretty good. And actually, I was going to watch that with my girlfriend tonight, but then plans changed. Anyways... nothing much else in media with the exception that Disney, I guess last week, entered talks to buy all of the entertainment media aspects of 20th Century Fox, which would be like a gigantic boon for Disney, both because they're trying to make their own streaming service, because they're pulling out of Netflix sometime next year. They announced a live-action Star Wars TV show for their not even available Disney streaming service. And if they bought Fox's properties, that would give them everything from Die Hard to Firefly to Lethal Weapon to Avatar, and not to mention, because Disney owns Marvel, it would also give them all of the Marvel properties that Fox owns, such as the X-Men and Fantastic Four, back under their umbrella.
Good, they need to have it because I'm fucking tired of Fox Marvel.
I agree, man. I agree. So other than that, in a really weird move, the Nintendo Switch got its first American video streaming service app, and it's fucking Hulu? What? Where's my Netflix? What is this shit?
Yeah, man.
I feel like Hulu paid him off on that one, to be honest.
Dude, the 3DS has Netflix. How does the Switch not have Netflix?
I know. Well, like both Wii U, and 3DS all have Netflix.
It's ridiculous.
And I think even the Wii U has like Amazon Prime and shit, and like they all got YouTube, and Switch is just now getting its first video app on Hulu. And while on the one hand, if anybody on this show decides to listen to our sister podcast, Rising Tide, a Marvel Cinematic Universe podcast, I'm very excited for Marvel's Runaways, even though it's on Hulu. So, I don't know. I guess I'll watch the Runaways while running away on my Nintendo Switch. Haha, joke. It was awful.
What's with the Hulu
Move on.
hate?
Somebody else talk.
What's with the Hulu hate? That's my question. Why?
So here's my Hulu hate.
Oh no.
Hulu, before it was an NBC Universal company / Comcast, they used to have all of like every TV show for free, and you could watch it with ads, just like regular TV with like bunny ears. You know, for those who are older and remember that, which is all of us here. And it was rad because you could watch whatever. Like, oh, you missed a thing on NBC, catch it on Hulu. Oh, you missed Simpsons, catch it on Hulu. You know, it was awesome. And then they went to a paid-only model in which you were paying for the same content, but with commercials.
Yeah, that's
stupid. And I'm like, no, go fuck yourself, Hulu.
Well, before that, they had the free service you can watch with ads, or you can pay to watch it without ads. And then when they went to that all pay only service and with ads, and then you can pay extra without it, I'm like, oh yeah, fuck you, Hulu.
It was just dirty. Yep. I mean, we were already watching ads, which is how they get their revenue, right? And it forces you to watch them, you know, which is fine. We all grew up on TV that way. So why charge us? That's what makes me angry about the whole Hulu thing and why I think they're the devil.
And they don't even have Stranger Things. They suck all the way around.
Yeah.
All right, fair enough.
And they're probably gonna have less stuff because I think 23% of it is actually owned by Disney now, in some weird thing, and Disney's pulling all of their stuff from Netflix and Hulu to do their own thing, and they'll have Marvel shows and they'll have Star Wars shows. Like, it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting. And they actually announced today that their month-to-month price will be, quotes, significantly lower than Netflix's, which just Netflix has just raised this month. So I don't know. It's weird stuff all around.
Yeah, I think they kicked in for me. They gave me the granddaddy clause because I had Netflix for so long that they eased me. They said they were easing me in. They gave me like a 3-year grace period. I think it just kicked in.
Yeah, I think I had something like that because I think I had Netflix streaming from day one.
Yeah, same. I think we all have.
Yeah.
Yep. All those old black and whites and PBS classic shit that they had, which was basically all they had at the beginning. Yeah, for sure. So what have you guys been watching? Movies, TVs, anything like that?
I'm still in the Stranger Things. I got to finish that up. I'm behind on my movies, though. I'm, kind of sad to admit that, but I haven't seen Thor yet. I heard it's pretty
It's
good.
fantastic.
Yeah, I heard this, and watching those the previews is actually the first Thor that I'm excited, to see. Most of the other Thors, I'm like, I'm
Yeah,
watching. It's like I'll either
this
watch it because it has to, it has the continuity, or I'm watching it for low key. But
well, this I mean, I'm not going to go into too much details about it since I do have a Marvel podcast where I talk about all sorts of shit on that. Still going to do my spoiler cast on that pretty soon this week, I think. But Thor Ragnarok is perhaps the funniest Marvel movie, hands down.
Ooh,
It's funnier than it's funny. It's funnier than both Guardians of the Galaxy, and I'd say even though I'm a Spider-Man fan, it's funnier than Spider-Man: Homecoming.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's but I've also I saw it with several friends, and they didn't think it was that funny, to be honest. So I think the humor is subjective. It's a different kind of humor, because the guy who wrote and directed it is a New Zealander. So it's I don't know, I guess New Zealander humor. But for what the movie is and all the different Marvel cameos and stuff, it's just extremely funny, man. They waste, and the other thing about it too is it's really quick. They waste no time on anything.
Good. I guess at this point they assume that you know what's going on. If you stuck around this long at Phase 3.
Well, I mean, anybody who's seen the trailers, that whole the anybody who saw any trailer where he's chained up and he's in hell and he's like, hey, you're probably wondering why I get here. That's the start of the movie. There's no it's just boom, Thor Ragnarok, and then it's boom, and then he's just hanging there, and then he's talking and he's like, yeah, probably wondered, and then just never address it, and then just fucking go full forward into it, into crazy comedy and insane action sequences, and it's just fantastic.
I can explain this. I really can.
They never do. They never do. Which may irk some people, but for the tone of the movie, it'll make sense. It's very good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, where are you at in Stranger Things, Dame?
I think I am episode 4, where the little worm thing just started growing.
Oh, okay. On season 2?
Yeah. Oh,
nice.
Yeah. And it's funny because I ran through season 1 in a day. So, but it's just been, like I said, it's week's been so busy. I haven't really got a chance to sit down and just dive into anything. But
yeah, I watched it on the premiere weekend. Mike's seen it.
Mm-hmm.
He's one of the few people who, understands that it's great, but it's just not for him.
Okay.
Yeah, I can see why people like it. It just doesn't. I don't know. It doesn't do it for me. You know what I mean? That's just the best way I can describe it. I can see why people would like it. Yeah, it is a good. Yeah, I can see the humor. I got the jokes. Being a Dungeons and Dragons kid and a kid that grew up in the '80s, I got it. It just wasn't. It wasn't my cup of tea, I guess would be the best way to put it.
You came in on season 1, or you watched season 2?
I watched season 1.
Them both.
I watched them both.
Oh, okay.
Some episodes were tougher than others because same with my girlfriend. She didn't dig it either. So having to sit with her, on the couch or whatever, and it's on the TV, and she just looks over at me like, this is why are we watching this? This is terrible. I don't like this. And I'm like, all right. So I'd have to watch it either on my phone or on the tablet just to, happy wife, happy life type of thing. But I did watch it. I understand. It was, it's neat. Definitely watch the first season before you watch the second season, as in all things. Because if you watch the second season, you would be the most confused ever. But, I dug that they were called, the monsters were named after classic Dungeons and Dragons monsters. I got all that. It just, wasn't for me.
But I will say that season 2 is a little bit slower than season 1.
it's also longer too by 2 episodes.
Yeah, it's just a little bit slow on the.
Yeah, my quick thing on season 2, even though you haven't finished it without spoiling, is I think it's good and it's great world building and a good setup for season 3, but it's just a little weaker than season 1 in my opinion.
Now is that rose-colored? Would that be rose-colored glasses?
No, but I think that the hook in season 1 was the fact that you had to spoilers. You had to save Will. You wasn't sure if he wasn't going to make it out. And it had this mysterious aura around, like, what is this thing that pulled him in? I mean, from what I've seen in season 2, it still has it, but it's like.
But it hasn't have anybody that's like stolen and stuff.
Yeah, there's no what if, or
right,
if that makes any sense,
Yeah, no, I understand. So the other big news in movies is writer Rian Johnson, who is the writer-director of the upcoming or forthcoming Star Wars The Last Jedi, just announced the other day that he's been given the go-ahead from Lucasfilm to create from scratch a brand new Star Wars trilogy in 2020.
Can we say Young Yoda?
Well, he said brand new, like with no existing characters. Like it's going to be brand new.
Can we say Mike's a lot less excited now?
So I'm guessing that's going to be determined as canon. Oh, how do you determine canon from that?
It would probably be post the Skywalker saga.
Would it be like in the Outer Rim or somewhere in a different galaxy, or?
I'm trying to pull up the exact quote here.
Would you be okay? All right, this is just a hypothetical while Tim does this, podcasting lingo. This is called covering. Would you guys be okay if they did a Guardians of the Galaxy-esque Star Wars, sort of like with bounty hunters?
Oh, dear God, yes.
Yeah, I think that would be cool.
That would totally be awesome.
You know what I mean? Like a ragtag group of bounty hunters just, I want to say dicking around the galaxy, but that's probably not the correct term. But yeah, dicking around the galaxy, hijinks and all that. I mean,
yeah. So the exact quote was, the exact quote, which came actually from Disney CEO Bob Iger, is, would introduce new characters from a corner of the galaxy that Star Wars lore has never before explored. So I would say a long time ago in another part of the galaxy far, far away.
At the same time as what's happening that we already know, but not.
Yeah, I mean, fuck it. Space is big, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that's happening. And I'm both excited, but I also must point out that, Rian Johnson's movie Last Jedi has not come out. So we don't know what fans think about it. But if Disney is so confident in how strong the movie is that they're giving him the reins to, like, the whole fucking franchise.
Yeah, it's a big, that's not nothing to sneeze at.
Yeah, because if we look at what happened to Star Wars Episode 9, which was going to be directed by Colin Trevorrow of Jurassic Park or Jurassic World fame, who got fired from Star Wars Episode 9, and then J.J. Abrams took over and was like, okay, I'm taking over, but we're going to spend another year on the script because it's not ready. Like, the fact that they're giving that kind of power to Rian Johnson is like, I don't know. Hopefully that spells that The Last Jedi is going to blow our fucking socks off.
I think it will, personally.
I hope the pacing's better, because I was highly, highly upset at the pacing in episodes.
Really?
Oh my gosh, yeah, I was.
I love the pacing.
It wasn't the pacing as far as me keeping me engaged. It was the pacing as far as, okay, she just found out she's a Jedi. How the fuck did she just beat this dark Jedi who's been training in the Sith for God knows long? How does that work? How does he get hit with a lightsaber by a guy who never even picked up a lightsaber? Nowhere near the movie. Who wasn't even forced? It's sensitive, period. How does that happen? This guy just stopped a light blaster. He stopped the light blaster. Vader couldn't even stop it. He stopped it like Neo. Like Neo in the Matrix. And you telling me this girl who found out a half an hour ago that she was Jedi? Are you kidding me?
He has a point, though.
Oh, are you serious? When I saw like no, I was like no, stop. You know, but
well, I think I don't know, an unpopular theory, but not without reason, since they have had it in Star Wars, even in the new Disney canon. I think she's, you know, some reincarnation of like Obi-Wan or Yoda or some shit.
It took Luke 3 movies. Okay.
Yeah, and then, you know, and his apprentice killed fucking Han. So you know what? He's fucking a dumb shit. All right. I'm just calling it.
Hey, maybe you should have said spoiler warning. I don't know. Some people might not have seen that movie. But by the way, yeah,
Wait. You haven't seen?
No, I have. Some people haven't, though. I'm just saying. Maybe some people haven't.
It's been fucking 2 years. Get over it.
Oh, well, I'm just saying people like to hear spoiler warning, apparently. But I'm just saying the greatest moment of my life was not seeing Han die because that hurt, but hearing it did. Hearing the audible reactions to the uber nerds. Because, I mean, there's there's levels to nerdage. Let's just be honest. There's cool nerds like Dame, and then there's like nerds like me. Not so cool, but cool enough to not get beat up. But I'm just saying, when he hit Han with that lightsaber, I heard people's lives end. Like he would. I'm like, dude, what did you expect was going to happen?
Mm-hmm. It was the music got quiet. In a Star Wars movie, that doesn't happen.
Nothing good ever happens past 2:30 a.m. and nothing good happens in a Star Wars movie when it gets quiet, a la Rogue One. We all know what scene I'm talking about. When the music drops and all you hear is, spoiler warning for people who haven't seen Rogue One, Vader comes in at the end and kills every fucking body. Everybody. I cheered like, I don't watch sports, but I'm just saying, if I did watch sports, I cheered when Vader came and started kicking the shit out of everybody. It's kind of like my team won.
Mm-hmm.
Which might make me a villain. I'm okay with that. But I say that's one of the best 15 minutes in any movie ever.
Yeah, I hated everything else before that.
It was dog shit.
Thank you. I'm glad somebody agreed with me.
It was bad when you care more about the droid than the people.
Yeah, it's true.
Man, the droid was man.
Yeah.
Well, it's because it was Alan Tudyk. It's fucking Wash from Firefly. He's a fucking great goddamn actor who made the shit out of that role.
Deep down inside.
Everyone loved that scene where oh my gosh, how am I blanking on his name? He gave him the thumbs up, and then he looked, and then he put out a lighter and floated up. It was equivalent. That's what he could process as a thumbs up. Like, yeah, that's pretty funny.
Well, that was BB-8 though.
Oh, wait. Which robot were you talking about then? So you were
talking about the
robot.
We're talking about the only fucking the protocol, the stealth Imperial droid that they reprogrammed.
Oh,
the tall one.
Yeah.
Like he was great.
Deep down inside, I was hoping he'd call somebody a meatbag. Like.
Oh yeah. Oh, deep cut for Star Wars: Knights of the Old Republic.
I'm about to say, didn't that come from KOTOR?
Yeah.
Yeah, but assassination droid. Yeah. Assassination droid. HK, hunter killer droid. HK, what, 40?
47, 40 something.
Yeah, 46, 47. I was going to say either one of those two, right?
Yeah.
That's a throwback.
Yeah.
As soon as I saw it, I was like, please say meatbag. Call one person a meatbag and watch me lose my shit in this movie theaters. And that's another thing that gets me, considering now, we're talking about movies. I can't stand people who are on their phones during the movie.
Oh, fuck those people.
Who fucking raised you? Who raised you? What did your parents do to you? Who hurt you is what I want to ask them. I don't care. Like it's every time without fail. We go to a movie. We went to go see It. I fucking loved it. I loved it. I love the original. I love the remake. Bill Skarsgård, creepy as fuck. Everything he did in that movie was him. Like not the bended up, twisted pretzel part, but like the drool and stuff, which I think is more impressive personally. Because try to drool right now, can't do it. Bet you can't. However, every time without fail, there's always somebody. I'm not gonna say any gender or anything like that, but always Instagramming and Snapchatting and shit. And they always want to be the people in front of me and my girlfriend. And every time I see that phone come out, I always do something to fuck up their picture. Because why? I paid $14 fucking for this. You're not ruining my experience. Sit down, put your phone away, enjoy the goddamn show. Because if you don't,
Jesus, your tickets are $14.
It's like
ours are like fucking like $18, $23 over here, man.
I don't. That was a we like to go to matinees because I have the I wouldn't say social anxiety, but I don't like crowds. Like
I was gonna say they gave you a military discount.
No.
Okay, well that sucks.
I don't like having people sit next to me in a movie theater. I understand it's like a brand new movie. We don't go see movies the day they come out because of that. Because I get anxious and I can't enjoy the movie. Now I realize though I can sit. Dame, I know since you're East Coast, you probably have like AMC's and stuff.
We have AMC's here.
Oh, well,
I prefer going to AMC's actually.
Okay, cool. That means we're still friends. If I said any other, I'll be like, you're a heathen too. I understand though. They have the dope seats that like recline and stuff.
Yeah, we got
like the
seats here, theaters where they have like the couch.
Oh, we got those too.
Seats, and it's
I've been to iPics. Yeah, those are great.
You can go, you get blankets and you can drink and stuff, and it's the best thing ever.
Expensive though, but worth it.
It's expensive. What I don't understand though is when if the theater is open, like we went to go see it 3 weeks after it came out. Okay, there was like 11 rows open. Why did you pick to sit next to the one? Why did you pick to? They sat right next to me, and I just looked over, and I couldn't help myself. I audibly went, "Really, really, dude."
With the Stewie face as he turns his head, like, "Are you serious?"
That's what it was. I was like, "Are you?" I can't believe it. And then the dude had the audacity to take his fucking shoes off. Which, whatever, you can go be comfortable. But if you're going to do that, make sure your feet don't smell like tuna fish.
Oh, he was trolling.
Yeah. I was like, oh, this guy's going to get it. And I'm just looking at him like, oh. And my girlfriend, God bless her, she's like, babe, calm down. It's okay. It's okay. I'm like, no, it's not okay. It's not okay because this guy wants to see me get angry, apparently. And if he wants to see me get angry, I'll do it for him. So don't be a dick in the theater and take your phone out. That's the Buster Knuckle Michaelist message of the week. Don't be that guy.
I agree. Man, my dog is freaking out. That's awesome. Sorry about that. All right. Well, let's roll the dice and move on to our next topic and keep this show moving along.
Here we go.
All right. So next topic is life. Anybody got any life stories, interesting life stories or anything like that?
I drank for the first time in a long time the other night.
Yeah?
Yeah. We have because I'm a part of the union, and I won't say what union because they probably would frown upon that. I guess I don't know, but
who knows? It's a union.
It's a union. But when we got when you get hired after your probationary period, the tradition is you buy beer for everyone, and then we go out and after the end of the shift on Thursday, and we have the beers with them. It's sort of like we're drinking you in, we're jumping you into the gang, as it were. That kind of has fallen down by the wayside because in the summer we were pulling 12 to 16 hours a day. We were pulling heavy days, and so that stopped. So yet we're in our slow period right now, except for Christmas and Thanksgiving when everyone wants to order turkeys that weigh 90 pounds. Please don't do that. Yet I digress. There were I think 6 or 7 guys that made it, that brought in their beer. So that's a lot of beer. At the end of the shift, everybody was like, come on, we're going to go, it's a Thirsty Thursday. That's what they call it. Clever
There you
name,
go.
alliterations and whatnot. So we were like, cool, I carpool with a buddy of mine, so save money, and we live right down the street from each other. Why drive two cars when you can drive one, type of deal? And he has a Prius, and it only takes $1 for him to get to our work. Whatever. He goes, and I quote, "Hey man, I don't drink, but if you want to go over there, we can." I was like, "It's up to you. Yeah, let's do that. It's for the coworker that we like." And I'm like, "All right, cool, man." So we go over there, and I proceed to watch a guy kill 6 beers in maybe a minute.
Yeah, that's a bit.
Maybe a minute and a half. Maybe it's a hard maybe type of thing, right? So I'm like, oh, and they're like, "Come on, man, you want one?" I'm like, yes. And High Life, the champagne of beers were what was bought. So I drank them,
Mm-hmm.
and I haven't drank in a good long time. So your old buddy Buster Knuckle probably drank 3 or 4 beers and was feeling good. Let's put it that way.
Mm-hmm. Buzzed is what we like to call.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, buzz, feeling good. On my way, or as I say sometimes, the wolf was out is the term I like to use when I used to drink all the time. The wolf's out, and I come home, and in my mind, in my wolfed out mind, I thought it'd be a good idea to make food.
Mm-hmm.
So I woke the missus up. And she came out.
That did not go well.
It did
That sounds not good.
It did not go well at all.
Mm-hmm.
At all. The story goes, because when I'm the wolf, I don't remember what happened. Sort of like being a werewolf. You don't remember what happened that night you turn. I was making a grilled cheese sandwich while listening to podcasts on my phone without my headphones on.
Oh yeah. I usually do it
at 3:45 in the morning.
It's not good.
And she asked me what was going on, and I said, and I quote, "Bitch, I'm hungry."
Yeah, that's usually the one that does that.
Yeah.
Right
that's what does it in. I mean, her with her friends, she's like that. They have that bitch. They call each other that and whatnot, and I don't understand it because I don't call dudes dude. But apparently I can't say that. That's not my place, because it's and I apologize because it was disrespectful, and I don't disrespect my girlfriend like that. It's just not what I do. But I apologize, and I felt like shit. Long story short, she went to the city tonight to go to a concert. She already paid for the tickets, so she looked me in my face and said, "Hey, we're leaving early. We want to go to dinner. I want to go shopping." And I went, I'll give you some money. And she was like,
Oh yeah.
She's like, "That's a good idea." So I just
That's a good idea.
It was a $125 mistake, pretty much. How it stretches out.
Okay.
So that's
a mistake.
Yeah, it was yeah. Well, I mean, we don't talk to each other like that. We both had terrible relationships where, names were called, things were done, type of thing. I mean, so we try to be let's be the people we pretend to be when you want to get banged. Back in the day when you wanted to, when you first date a girl and you're like on your best behavior, you're not playing video games, you're not doing anything else, and you're the superhero version of yourself. That's what we want to be. That's what we want to be as a couple. So it was a costly error. Fellas, don't talk to your significant others like that. They don't deserve it.
Yeah, for sure.
Also,
right, so
it was delicious. The beer was delicious. I forgot how good beer was. I forgot how good beer was.
Yeah, I used to drink beer. I was anything Belgium was basically my thing, but then I can't have gluten, so no beer for me.
Oh.
So it goes. My life story. Say again?
Is that gluten free?
Well, I mean, it's kind of hard to make beer out of non-gluten.
Sure.
Like, I'm more of a hard alcohol drinker anyway, so it's not.
What was your drink, Tim? That's another question I have for you.
I do Stella Artois, and if that wasn't available, Heineken.
Okay. Well,
that's pretty much every guy's go-to 2 beers. Like if you don't have Heineken, you either got Stella's or you got Natty Boh. I don't know.
Yeah, or I mean, and failing any of those, like a pyramid something.
There you go.
There you go. So my incident this week's show involved my work today.
Oh boy, I've heard this story. It's great.
Yeah, you heard it already.
It's fucking good.
So the company I work in, I won't say the full title because I don't want getting bombarded with emails or something. But like everybody probably knows that I install automatic doors. Okay, and the first 2 letters in bold of the company name is the letter C and the number 4. Okay? And it doesn't actually stand for C4 explosives. It's some older thing. Don't worry about it. Not getting into it.
Keep that in mind, though.
I'm going to keep that in mind. So, went to school this morning, tried to fix something. Couldn't get in because everything was like locked up and closed. I'm like, what the hell is going on? And then I was going to go do an install of an automatic door at a college around here. And, I drove by there and the front gate was closed. And I was like, okay, well, I'll go around back, because I've done lots of work there, And I go around back and it's open. I'm like, okay, yeah, it's probably still open. We could get up in there, And the back parking lot is the biggest parking lot at this particular college. And I see not normal people's cars parked in this parking lot, but every fucking, police, sheriff, SWAT truck, fucking military, Humvee,
this is real deal
K9 unit, every motherfucking thing, and more SWAT than I've ever seen in my entire life. And I've worked in police stations and stuff and that sort of thing, so that sort of stuff. And so here's this white van with the letters C and 4 primarily emblazoned across the van, right?
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
About 30 motherfucking guys turn and all look at this van.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And I say to my work partner, Michael Pena and Ant-Man, back it up. Back it up real slow. Just back it up. Back it up. Back it up. Fucking 20 seconds. Guy in a sheriff's vehicle rolled up. And it's just, he was really nice about it though. But I was a little oh shit. Because we get searched a lot. If we go on military bases and whatnot.
Well, yeah, C4. You probably would.
I didn't name it. Okay. I didn't name it. And he goes up and he's totally nice about it. And he's just hey buddy, what you up to? And I was I was trying to get to the maintenance department, but it seems like there's nobody there. We're going to put a door in, but I guess the campus is closed.
We've done nothing wrong.
and he's yeah, the whole campus is closed. We're commemorating and also honoring Veterans Day, and we're holding intense SWAT routines on campus. And I was oh, okay, cool. And he's all right, well, you drive home safe or whatever. And I was alrighty. I was I'm getting the fuck out of here. But it was just the whole it was that scene in the movie, where it's just oh shit, and then they're all just sort of looking at you, oh fuck.
Back it up.
Yeah,
Back it up.
It was exactly slow. That thing. Oh man.
Hey buddy.
But yeah, we looked like dumbasses.
Hey buddy, what are you doing? Certainly not trying to blow up this installation. I promise you that.
Yeah, why would we have it emblazoned on the van like that?
I can tell you what I'm not doing.
Yeah. I definitely don't want to get shot by those guns you guys have slung over your shoulder right now.
Yeah, for sure.
That's funny.
You got any life stories there, Dave?
Oh no, not really. It's been life's been pretty boring this last week or so. I don't know. It's just been working and home.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing really exciting has happened to me yet. Yeah.
I'll say, Dave, how's the life of a sponsored streamer, man? Like, how's that?
Oh yeah,
like that's
pretty cool.
I mean, we can say that for gaming if you want, but I'm just saying.
It's pretty cool, you know. It's like a job, though. You know, you gotta stay, keep your edge. You know, you gotta stay on your toes. Mine is more so like for like eSports, so it's not like I'm looking at it as a different approach opposed with me being like a YouTuber or a streamer that has to make content. You know, mine is just primarily focused on competitive play. You know, and so it's.
So you don't have to stream while you're esporting?
Not all the time. Not all the time. Like I don't stream practices.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you know, practices. That's just pretty much recording, and then you know, we send it out to my team, and we'll look over footage. You know, it's kind of what we do is which we'll trade footages because it's kind of hard for me to see what my other teammate is doing if he's only looking at my point of view. You know, so we'll try to. That's why I wish Destiny had a spectator mode. Life would be so much easier. But you know, so we go like that. You know, but it's cool. It's cool.
Now, forgive me. What team were you on, Dame?
Hellfire eSports.
And let me just say how cool it feels to know that, like, I know and have spoken to someone who plays professional esports from back in the day. You know what I mean? It's pretty dope for me to say that I know someone who, like, you know, I've spoken to on several occasions and know personally someone who is a pro gamer, which is everyone's dream. Let's just be honest. If you're decent at shooting, you're like, I could be pro.
Yeah, it's like it's different now being from D1 to D2, mainly because of the SBMM is there in D2, but it was way different in D1. You know, like I would go into trials, and I remember I played trials against Lucky and Butt Wipe, and I was 7 for 8th game. You know, going to the Lighthouse. You know, I've played against Pure Chill. I played against Deuce from IM. I've gone with Scorpio, who played with BSK in the last farewell tournament. They want to know BSK as Bomb Squad Kittens, as Lumi's clan, and yeah, you know, it's been fun. It's been fun. It also, like I said, kept my edge because playing with those guys is that the speed, and like if you are ever in a chat and you just hear constant call outs, and I mean it's just constant call outs, you have to have a neck that's on a swivel because you have to be not only looking at the radar, you have to be constantly looking at your surroundings because the speed is just so quick at what they play at. You know, it's just like when I go into like a quick play or anything like that, it shows because it seems like I'm moving at 3 times the speed than the average player is, you know, and there's some things I'm just like, why is he sitting there taking these shots? Well, why didn't he not throw a grenade or try to flank? Why didn't he not pinch? Why didn't he not do, you know, so it's a lot, you know, it's a lot. But
so you would say it's like an iron sharpens iron situation?
It is, yeah. It's something that, you know, the speed of Destiny, well, I would say that the speed of Destiny is much slower than the speed of, let's say, your Call of Duties or even your Titanfalls or Battlefields. And that's mainly because of the health pool much deeper in this Destiny. The balance of team shooting, the concept is totally different than what it would be in D1, where you can kind of have those hero moments where you can kind of clutch. You know, now everything is just so team-based and team shooting. It gives it a very slow pace or a slow tempo because you're not as quick to run around corners. You know, you're not as quick to try to be gun-ho. You want to run with your team. You want to sit back. You want to, watch lanes and try not to get picked, which is very rare because no one really even snipes anymore in D2 on console. Maybe different on PC.
Yeah, because PC doesn't have the recoil.
Yeah, there's no recoil. Or if it is like very, very, very minute, you can't tell, And so I find myself running with, like, back to my old year one D1 meta, rockets as far as the power weapons. Sometimes I use shotties depending on what guardian I'm using. Like if I'm on my Titan, I might use a shotty, or I might use a sword. Hunter, I'm usually on my Warlock. Hunter, I'm usually on rockets. Warlock is either rockets, or sometimes I might pull out a main ingredient, and because that thing just shreds and it just reaches from obscene levels, and it's ridiculous. But it's just a slower pace, slower tempo, and different mindset. And then I had to get used to that as well too, because I was just so used to running in. Oh, last guardian down. Okay, let me get to this spot. Let me create some space, turn around, snipe, boom. Nice, when's the next one? Especially if I had an icebreaker, I could just quick scope and just, do obscene things with that gun. I got so many clips. It's ridiculous for that gun. But they're gonna bring back exotics. I wish they bring that back, actually.
Oh, the icebreaker?
Yeah, absolutely. It's my gun. That was my jam, man.
Hey Tim, real quick. What do you say we just move right into gaming? Because this seems to be.
Might as well. I rolled the dice. The next one up was technology, but the only thing I have for technology to talk about is gaming related. Okay. So
we can just roll right in.
Let's just do technology gaming.
Yeah, I didn't want to hijack. I didn't want to derail the show or anything. I was making sure okay, let's just make sure because this is too good.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So what were you about to say? I thought.
No, it's fine. I was going to say, a lot of people ask the pro players that they know or that some people talk to, considering if you didn't know, Dame, back in the day, remember the whole remember we were the Agents of the Nine when you guys called and interviewed me and all that? Well, I continued it on in spirit because I was obsessed with podcasting. And I started the RNG cast, which is a gaming and / nerdage type podcast. So, I still keep the Agents of the Nine spirit alive because, you guys pretty much got me into the whole podcasting thing. What subclasses do you run on your Titan, Hunter, and Warlock?
If I'm on Titan, it's Striker. Definitely Striker with 2 pulse grenades. I like skating. I think that is just much more elusive than even a Hunter when he's running. I can just skate, knee charge, closing a gap, last hope, and just keep going. If I'm on my Warlock, it's Stormcaller, because I just love Ionic Blink. I love using that, popping that super, and it's fun also in PvE as well too for clearing out ads. I know whenever we do Leviathan and I'm in Throne Room working on ads, I just pop my super, boom. I don't have to worry about any of the shield cabal that come out, or just if anyone's in trouble, I can just knock them out. But if if I'm in Crucible, definitely Thunder Strike with the increased melee range, and then I use Stormcaller. Also, I use Karnstein, the Karnstein gauntlets, which I think are just phenomenal. I haven't loved the pair of gauntlets like that on the Warlock since the Ophidians, because basically you can just melee. You don't even have to kill your target. You can just melee them and get your health back. So that's got me out of a lot of jams. And if I'm on my Hunter, it's Night Stalker. Definitely Night Stalker. The Shade Step, as I can go invisible. That's mainly the reason why I can Shade Step and just go invisible, slide in, last hope, closing the gap. If I'm looking at radar, and it seems like that it may be 2, 3, I can just slide in, throw a grenade, Shade Step, disappear, get out. So I usually run those. That's my big 3. If I'm just BSing around, then I'll probably do Goldie. I was a fan of the Arc Strider, but it's just the fact that super in order to be super efficient with it, that's a flank super. You have to pop that super when the team is nowhere close to focusing on you, when they're definitely looking at the other team, or they're just preoccupied. And then, because if you go and try to pop that super, you run around that corner, you're gonna get mowed down very quick.
Yeah, that's how I feel about it too. With the pole, the Arc Strider, it's more like, because when I mean, my subclasses of choice are I've really fallen in for the hammers this time around. With the Sunspot build, it just you hit somebody with a grenade, you stand in the Sunspot, the recharge is massively increased. It's crazy how fast that works. For Warlock, I like the Dawn Blade because it's aerial. I can lock in the air, bomb on them. Plus, if I need to get my health back, I can just plummet or skydive or whatever the hell it's called. And I mean, for Hunter, I haven't really played the Hunter too much, but I do like the Night Stalker. It's not very offensive. It's more defensive and strategic. But using the Hunter, I think it's the one that makes it stick. It's just too good.
Grenade.
Yeah. I mean, you can set traps. It just works for me. But I just find it interesting hearing, a professional player, like how they think compared to how I want to say normal. I don't want to say normal. Normal sounds bad, but the average Destiny, the casual Destiny player plays.
Yeah, what I've come to realize, with myself, if you go into these Facebook threads and you go into these Reddit threads and these comment threads, and it can get pretty toxic. It can get to a point where it's just like, dude, I don't even want to be here. Like, what are you talking about? And a lot of people get salty about real quick and get salty about the meta. And, they can get salty about, certain weapons being so-called OP or just like so-called use crutch weapons. And it came to a point where, especially when I decided to become really competitive, it came to a point where I just, decided like, hey, I'm going to use what works. I'm going to use what weapon I can get the quickest kill in and move on to the next one. I don't look at it as far as being like a crutch weapon. I'm going to use the best weapon at hand. And that's the one thing a lot of competitors, especially pro players, think. That's the mindset that they have. But even like my vendetta against Thor, anyone knows me, I absolutely hate Thor. Hate it. I hated Thorn, but it was a 2-shot kill. And when you watch tournaments, and when you watch the Lumis and the Sir Dimitri and the Triple Rex of the world and real crafties of the world play, they used Thorn shotgun. It was Thorn Fellwinters because those were the two guns that could kill you the quickest at the furthest range. And that's what they're going to use because that's what works. That's the biggest thing at hand. And I always try to use that with this analogy. Like, you have a race car driver. You have Dale Earnhardt Jr. Take Dale Earnhardt Jr. for instance. He's a very good race car driver. Are you going to say that he has a crutch car because he wants to put the fastest engine in his car to race? Of course he's going to put the fastest engine in his car to race. He wants to win, You will call it a crutch engine? Like, no, you're not. It's the same philosophy here. I use the best guns to win. Point blank. Right now, the meta is Last Hope, Mida, Nameless Midnight, Sins of the Past,
Antiope
D, and Uriel's Gift. I run with Mida, Last Hope, Sins of the Past, and it works. So especially
Last Hope is a dope.
Oh my gosh, Last Hope is ridiculous.
Guys, I'm just gonna be honest with you. I just got it today.
Oh shit!
That was the gun.
You're gonna love it then.
Oh, so yeah, I already threw the shader on it, so it's not going nowhere. To be honest,
yeah, it's actually not too shabby in PvE either.
Yeah, all my characters have Last Hope. All my characters have Uriel's. All my characters have Midas.
I have 3 Last Hopes of each element with corresponding color schemes.
It's a really good side.
Leave it to Tim to color code his guns, right?
You know what? If they're gonna give me shaders, then fuck it.
Listen, I mean, I haven't really talked to I mean, Tim, we've talked about, Destiny because we're in the clan together. I haven't really talked to Dame about Destiny because, let's just be honest, I haven't talked to Dame in a while, probably since the last time we podcasted together. But like Dame, I don't want to make this gaming section, all Destiny 2, but how do you feel about the changes, like the shader system? Do you like it? Like,
well, the shader system doesn't really bother me. It did at first, but the fact that you get so many shaders, I wish they could give you more slots. Because I have
ditto on everything you're saying, Dame.
It's like I have so many shaders just sitting in the postmaster. I have no room. I find myself deleting the ugliest color schemes just to make room for to get shaders out of my postmaster. But yeah, you get so many bright Ingrams, it doesn't even phase you. You might have a few shaders that you don't get as many drops of, and then also, like, if you run trials a lot and you run the raid a lot, those weapons already come with the shader. So if you run trials a lot, there's no reason to put Gift of the Nine, because it's the same exact shader. You run the raid a lot, there's no reason to put Callus. I forgot, Empress something, I can't remember what it's called. It's the same exact shader.
Callus is selected.
Callus is selected. That's it. It's so I don't really care about that. It's not pay to win. So as long as it's not pay to win, it's all cosmetic. That's fine with me.
I just found that the community now. I mean, do you think it's weird that people are already considering this the first content drought of Destiny 2?
Well, it's yes and no. I will say this, and I truly feel this sincerely, and it sucks. It sucks for the in D1, Destiny, as it got toward the end, I guess we can all agree that it lost the player base from when it initially started toward when it finally ended. That was maybe because of the lack of content that was in the game, but the one thing that it had to make up for lack of content was a carrot on the stick. And that carrot on the stick kept the hardcore player base going and pushing toward getting that Fatebringer, running the raid faithfully to get that Galahorn, running the raid to get that Dex Mythoclast, doing the quest to get Thorn, doing the quest, so it kept us pushing and kept us going. I remember I ran quotas in 3 times a week faithfully to try to get a Black Hammer. I didn't get one until 2 weeks before House of Wolves. The Dark Below dropped in December. So, but it gave us memories of when we got that gun, when we got that weapon, that piece of armor. I remember Forever 29. I was stuck there until I finally got that chest piece. And that was before I had a hunter or a warlock. I used to main a Titan. That's all I had. And so like we gained these memories and we gained this love for a game that we've met people over the years. We have created a community that has gone above and beyond the play, the other peers in the player base. Those are the players that have been very vocal. Those are the players that stuck around when everyone else moved to Division, when everyone else moved to Call of Duty, when everyone else moved to these other games, the Watch Dogs, the Assassin's Creeds, when they left, and that core fan base that played week in, week out, that carried people to the Lighthouse, that Sherpa people through raids, that were vocal about SBMM opposed to connection base, that were vocal about we need more vault space, that were vocal about we need more content, They got shitted on in this game. They got pissed over because this game in D2 has been catered more to the player that is the casual player that has bought and maybe pre-ordered initially, but guess what? That casual player is playing Mario Odyssey now. That casual player has gone off to play Assassin's Creed Origins. That casual player now is playing Call of Duty. They're not sticking around, maybe until the next DLC. And the people who have been vocal and been passionate about this game has just been shafted because there's no incentive for them to do any public events at this point because we got everything in the first week. There is no incentive to really run. Well, I mean, the first time I went flawless the first day it launched. Okay, my team went flawless. We get to the lighthouse and we're like, this is cool, but it wasn't like that first moment when we went to the lighthouse in D1. Mm-hmm. You know, it was like, this is cool. We get like an emblem, this and the third, but it took away that allure and that magic because now I don't have to win 7 games to get a weapon. Hell, I could just go to the emissary and burn all my tokens until I finally get what I want. I don't have to go, win 5 games to get armor. I can do the same thing. There are no adept weapons. Power level doesn't matter. So what's the point of even driving to get to max light like we used to in year 1? Like we used to go in and day out. I remember when you first got your Galahorn, you immediately left and tried to get as many bounties as you can so you can cash in and level up that Galahorn.
So here's my thing on that though, Dame. Mm-hmm. So as I believe what I would consider a hardcore Destiny player myself, by the time D2 came around, mm-hmm. I still personally felt burnt out on doing, the raid multiple times and stuff on D2 because of how much time I spent on D1. And I think it's you can't have your cake and eat it too type scenario for D2 because on the one hand, it is awesome to pursue that ultra elusive drop of Galahorn or Becksmith the class and stuff from D1. Kept me and all my people playing for years, literally. But the reason I think that worked is because the end content like Vault of Glass were so good to continuously run, and the camaraderie ship that you get to with all of your friends. Right. And obviously they lowered the bar on that for Destiny 2, and most everybody had everything they wanted within the first month of the game being out. And that's true for me, but at the same time, as someone who doesn't have a ton of time to commit to it all the time. I mean, my situation is not as bad as Mike's in terms of time he can play. And I know for me personally, the Nintendo Switch has been a godsend because I can take it with me wherever I want. I'm fine with the bar being lowered. What I'm not fine with is that the end game stuff is not fun. That's what I'm not fine with. I'm not a fan of the raid. Its initial impression of like, oh, it's amazing, wore off very quickly. I think it's actually one of the worst raids made, honestly. And not just like, its mechanics are bad or anything like that, but just like it's just not fun. Vault of Glass was fun. Crota, even its broken ass, that was fun. King's Fall was less fun, but
King's Fall was no fun. You can say the truth.
King's Fall was like, oh my god, it's the best. The first 2 weeks you play it, and then it's like, oh no, it's actually the worst. And then, I think Wrath of the Machine was extremely fun, and I think, whenever the next raid is, it needs to be fun. I don't care about insane difficulty. That's fine. You can have it be hard or whatever, but have it be hard because what you're ultimately doing is fun. You know what I mean?
I mean, I liked the Leviathan. I didn't really find
how often do you run it though?
I don't run it as much anymore because I do more so PvP and
Okay, but how many times would you say you ran it?
Have I ran it? Maybe about good 15, 20 times.
Okay. I think I probably run it probably just as much. But after 5 times of running it, like its magicalness like wears off completely, at least for me.
Yeah,
So,
I haven't. Yeah, it's still cool with me. You know, I
you
still
know,
enjoy.
and the thing that drives me crazy about that is the best strike in Destiny 2, which is that strike that's very Vault of Glassy, that's on
the Pyramidian.
Pyramidian.
Yeah, I love that
Like,
one.
it's fucking fun and awesome, and you're doing cool raid-like things, and the boss is cool, and what you're doing is cool, and the space you're in looks like nothing else in the whole game. And it's true, the raid has its own neat aesthetic, but the Pyramidian is fun. That's my point. Like, give me fun shit.
It's also very Vexy. Vex.
It's true, and I'm definitely biased towards the Vex.
You are.
Vex,
you are.
Yeah.
But we all know this. We all know this, and that's what makes you, Tim. We all, we all understand this. But I mean, for me though, I mean, you guys know, I grinded for a Shadow Price Vanguard for 45 levels, for 45 ranks to get a Shadow Price, which I love. My favorite weapon in Destiny. If they could have they're never going to bring back the legendary, because if they did, everybody would want the palindrome and all that. So that's fine with me. But they gave, for me, because I like to grind on things and I like to collect, they gave me that with the planetary armors and the armor for trials, which I still haven't even gone into, because no one wants to start a card and then, hey, how long you got? I got a couple hours. All right, cool. And then midway through, bonkers, we're done. No one wants to start one. I have to go see the emissary somehow, some way. I like the new designs. I do. All the weapons feel unique. All of them look unique. At first, I didn't think I would like random the fixed rolls, but fixed rolls actually make it. I don't want to say even, but it gives you the illusion of, okay, cool. Let's say Dame and I are playing against each other. God forbid, God save me in that situation. And I'm like,
you just gotta fight him when he's tired.
Yeah,
and he's real easy.
But it'd be like, oh, he's using a Mida. Cool. I know how the Mida works. I know I have to get up close to use the Antiope. I know the Mida doesn't have hip fire. That's a bad example, because Mida is probably the most recognizable weapon in Destiny. We can be honest and say that. But I know what to expect. And that's what I like. Is it the
most recognizable weapon, though?
That you can hear that sound. It is.
Yeah, you know that sound like easily. Like when you hear that click, 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 someone's chipping away with a Mida.
The stapler sound.
Yeah, it is the most distinct scout rifle sound, I would say, in all of Destiny.
I mean, some would say the Thorn is the most recognizable.
I'd say something else is more distinct. I'd say like the basic sort of futuristic auto rifle look is probably more distinct, because it's on all the posters and stuff, and it's sort of the design that was most like every other fucking gun in. Atheon's Epilogue had the same design. Your Shadow Price had the same design. Like that particular design of auto rifle is probably the iconic one for Destiny. That and maybe a hand cannon.
That's interesting.
That's just my opinion.
No, it's interesting to hear,
Anyway, to move it completely away from Destiny, so fucking far away. So I played and I beat the new Sonic video game, Sonic Forces. And I had actually, first of all, I played and bought it on the Nintendo Switch. I did not get the 4K 60 frames a second version on PS4. And I had played a demo of it at PAX, and it was fun, but it was a little glitchy at PAX. I'm happy to say that the Switch version, both docked and undocked, is smooth as butter. The loading is very awesome, and I'm a true Sonic fan at heart, but this game fucking falls apart by the end of it. And I'm kind of left wondering, like, it falls apart both gameplay-wise and story-wise. And so like the game is $40, I guess, across all platforms, which is a little weird because Sonic Mania came out earlier this year, which is the throwback game that's brand new, and it was $20. And the thing that's weird about Sonic Forces is compared to the previous 3D Sonic games, Sonic Generations and Sonic Unleashed, there's 30-some stages with some like weird bonus stages where you do other weird things that is not going fast. All the stages can be like, there's basically like an achievement for completing the stage in 60 seconds. So, that's like, like maybe your first time through, it'll take you 3 to 5 minutes per stage because, you
learning.
You're missing jumps or you're fucking up or dying or whatever because it's a Sonic game. That's how it goes. But like overall, the stages are over like super fast, like, and it's kind of bizarre, honestly. And I'm almost left wondering because it starts off like super fucking strong. Like, spoiler alert, it starts off with them killing Sonic.
Oh, wow.
And it's like, what the motherfuck are they doing in this game? Like, it starts off with Sonic dying, and then it cuts to 6 months later, and there's like a resistance, and because you create your own character in this one. And then they're just like, okay, well, this is the resistance. It's 6 months later. Eggman's won. Like, shit's real. And it's like, what the dun 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 dun. Like, it's like really fucked up and like dark and shit. And you're like, well, that was different, But then like by stage 3, it's like, oh no, Sonic's alive. Eggman's been keeping him prisoner, like in a thing, and you gotta like arrange a rescue strategy to like break him out and stuff. And it's like, it's really cool. Like, it's really cool stuff. And it's really weird because in the dialogue, it's all like, Tails is just casually with his fucking hyper high voice. He's like, oh my God, Sonic's just been being tortured by Eggman for the last 6 months. And it's like, wait a minute. Did Tails just say tortured? What the fuck is this game? Like, what is happening? Because like I grew up with Sonic, and there was a ABC Saturday morning cartoon. Mm-hmm. And it actually had a pretty dark premise, like back in the 90s, where like Eggman had taken over the world, and it's Sonic and all of his critter friends, and they're trying to fight Eggman to take the world back. And that's what Sonic Forces is. Like, as a story, it's just way more video gamey because it's a video game as opposed to the cartoon. And so it feels kind of fan servicey in that sense, which is great for people like myself. But when I say fall apart at the end, I mean like there's some like weird repeating bosses that's just like, wait a minute, how come this boss is the same as this boss? And that's a little lazy. And then like the stage design gets like lazy at the end. And the game's $40. And I can't help but think that, maybe they didn't have like a gigantic budget for it. And so it's like, okay, we know it's not like a complete full $60 game. It's a shorter, focused experience, and this is what we have. So it's a little strange, but I think overall, as a 3D Sonic game, it's definitely up there as one of the much better ones. It's just strangely short and like very bizarrely like ends quickly. Like I beat it in 2 evenings. Like it's extremely short. Like I would argue it's shorter than Sonic Mania, which was $20.
8 hours.
It has less stages.
Would you say 8 hours or 6? Because short games do have their areas. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like...
Yeah, for sure. And like, I guess I'm just like, usually a big 3D Sonic game has longer stuff or more stuff to do. And they have sort of like every game now, they have like daily missions and like weekly missions and stuff to do, where it's like, okay, replay this mission with blah modifier and stuff. And there's there's a shit ton of costumes to unlock because you make a character. It's because there's basically 3 gameplay types. There's modern 3D Sonic, where you're like racing and shit's exploding everywhere. There's classic 2D Sonic, which unfortunately is not as good as the previous classic 2D Sonic Mania that was released earlier this year. And then there's what they call avatar stages, because it's whatever character you've made. And I gotta say, the avatar stages are kind of fucking cool, because like there's like the character customization stuff is really deep, strangely. And it's like, okay, well, what does your avatar do? It's like, well, your base abilities are a fucking flamethrower and a grapple gun. All right, fuck it, let's go. Like it's actually kind of cool.
Do you pick an animal model?
Yeah, you can do like fox, hedgehog, bear, jackal, like a bunch of different, Sonic style critters. It's actually really deep.
But no echidna. Actually. You can't be Knuckles.
I think there's an echidna in there. I think there is. Like all the base ones, like Sonic Hedgehog, Knuckles, Echidna, Tails, Fox, those are there. But then there's like Bear and Bat and you like unlock more as you go. Like it's the reward for getting better rankings on each stage.
Mm-hmm.
So you get like, I don't know. There's like tons of stuff. You can change your sex, male, female, gloves, like 6 different colors on the like skin of the character, and then gear beyond that. And then there's also like they call them Wispions, which is like a deep Sonic thing, power up thing from many games ago. But basically they're different weapons. There's like a lightning gun, there's a flamethrower, there's like sort of a gravity well gun. Basically a bunch of different types of like elemental guns and stuff is what the avatar characters do.
Cool.
But ultimately, it's a pretty good Sonic game. It's just nowhere near as good as the basically fan-made Sonic Mania that was earlier this year. The one thing, though, that I think has always shined, though, about Sonic games, and Sonic Forces is no exception, because they fucking got the London Symphony Orchestra to, like, help do the music, and, like, a bunch of other, like, popular culture, like, singers and songwriters. Like, the music is off the fucking charts good for this game.
Nice.
Like, it's got, like, symphonic, orchestrated stuff. It's got, like, awesome rock and like cool synths. Like it's really fucking good music. And
nice.
That I mean, I actually joked, I think on Twitter, that Sonic Forces is good, but I feel like they ran out of money because they spent all their money on the sound department. But anyways, I digress. I'm sure. I don't know. Are any of you guys Sonic fans here?
Oh, I'm old school gamer fan.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. I grew up an old school Sonic. The last Sonic I really played was like like Adventure 2 on the Dreamcast. That's the last one.
You should pick up Mania, Dame. It's fucking one of the best Sonic games ever made, actually.
I heard it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
I would and I'm a Sonic diehard, 1 through 3 plus Sonic and Knuckles, and I would say it's better than those.
Oh wow!
Yeah, it's that good. That's fucking good.
Sonic and Knuckles and Sonic 3. That's my jam, man.
Yeah. Well, jam. You can play all of those, and the thing about Sonic Mania, is Knuckles' stages are unique to him, so they're all about like climbing and gliding and digging and stuff.
Oh, that's sweet.
But it's the classic Sonic 3 and Knuckles gameplay.
Freaking love that game.
Seriously, Dame. If you have any love for Sonic, you owe it to yourself to pick up Mania. It's unbelievably good.
See, I have a question, guys. Considering we're all old school gamers, what classic franchise would you like to see be brought back, either on the Switch or on a next gen system?
I mean, how old are we going? You talking 8-bit, 16-bit?
I mean, are we talking things that haven't been brought back, or at least attempted to be brought back?
Yeah, never been brought back.
Never been brought back.
Never been brought back.
You know what? I wouldn't mind seeing a repolished Super Metroid.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's the one that they haven't touched yet. They've touched literally every other 2D Metroid, especially as of this year, because they remade Metroid 1, they remade Metroid 2, Zero Mission or Fusion was original, and then they haven't touched the Super.
I did not like Zero Missions.
Oh, really? Oh, okay, you're crazy. Fucking crazy. I've actually been playing the Samus Returns, the Metroid 2 remake. It's basically a brand new game. Like, it's this sort of general same premise, but it's like, it's very different. Like, it's got all of the Super Metroid stuff in it. Anyways,
Tim, what would you like to see brought back?
Oh God, I was thinking about it and I was like, I can't think of anything that like hasn't been brought back yet. Like my encyclopedic knowledge of video games is very long. Like when I think of like old classic games, I think of like Altered Beast and Alex the Kid and fucking things like Bubsy, which came back like last week.
Bubsy Bob the Bobcat.
Yeah, Bubsy came back last week. I guess it's a terrible game, but Bubsy games are always terrible. So like, what's the fucking difference? Things like Rocket Knight and even Target Earth came back this year. Like everything has come back that I can think of.
Yeah.
The only one that I can kind of, which is sort of coming back in its own way, is like, I mean, they've done modern interpretations of Castlevania, but they really just need to make the fucking Metroidvania Castlevanias again, and that's what Bloodstain is doing because that's the team that made those Game Boy Advance and DS games. So I'm looking forward to that one because I fucking love Metroidvania games. And this is going to sound really bad for people who've listened to the last 4 episodes of this show, but I've been playing a lot of Metroidvania games. I beat The Mummy Demastered, and it is, now that I've finished it, it is 100% a fantastic fucking Metroidvania game. It's just fucking fantastic, and it has some of the best music I've heard in recent video gaming. Like I would, even though it's like chiptune and stuff, I would put it up there. And this might blow your mind, Dame. I'm gonna put the music up there with Horizon Zero Dawn this year for like soundtrack of the year.
I liked Horizon's soundtrack. I think oh my gosh, there is a game that I played that had an incredible soundtrack. I can't think of it. I need to go back and go through my list. Yeah, Horizon's pretty good. Oh my gosh, what game was it? I mean, the music was just incredible. But Destiny 2. Sorry.
Oh yeah, no, it's got a fucking fantastic soundtrack. Incredible. They knocked it out of the park for sure.
Yeah,
I totally agree.
Now for me,
I would Seattle Symphony Orchestra, baby.
I would want to bring back Earthworm Jim.
They're bringing it back?
Then I'm happy. Okay, fine then. Monster Rancher. Remember that one? The OG Monster Rancher? That was my shit.
That's coming back too, man.
Oh, then I'm happy. Looks like I know what I'm getting for Christmas.
Like I feel like I've heard about new games of those for sure. Like all that stuff's coming back.
Yeah, looks like I know what I'm getting for Christmas.
So on a technological and also like what I've been playing, so it just released last night, but I've been looking forward to it because I didn't catch the PS4 or Xbox One version. I've been playing Doom on the Nintendo Switch. And I gotta say, like, so first of all, I missed it. I missed Doom on PS4 and Xbox One. I know from the reviews of that, the game is fucking fantastic and rock solid and all that sort of stuff. I did play a demo of last year's Doom on the Xbox One, so I understand how it looked there at 1080p at 60 frames a second. The Switch runs it at 30 frames a second at 720p, which is definitely a bump down. However, it is like I actually pumped the demo on my Xbox One again and ran it side by side with the Switch, and the Switch is like, it's basically 100% perfect, and it's very bizarre to see that kind of Doom running on a handheld, let alone a Nintendo device. It plays really good. I mean, there's definitely no denying that the bump down from 1080p to 720 makes it look a little blurrier, but graphic-wise, like, all the particles, all the critters, all the sound, everything is there as it was on full console. And this is a console that's easily at least half as powerful as the original Xbox One. And it's just fucking impressive as all fuck that A, it even exists. B, it has the full multiplayer stuff, even though, Nintendo doesn't have their shit together and they're online yet. It's just really crazy and it's really wild. It reminds me of like playing Killzone Mercenary on the PS Vita, where it's like, it's so graphically impressive. You're just like, holy fuck, this is on a handheld? I can't even believe it. You know? So I've been playing a bit of that. Actually fell asleep playing that last night because I was tired. But yeah, it's 100% 2016's Doom. Like, feature complete, all expansions included. It's insane, really. And the loading's not even terrible, which is also very surprising because I like look at it and I'm like, I feel like my Switch should be on fire. Like,
Nice.
I feel like it should literally catch fire. But it doesn't. It just fucking runs it, you know, like a champ. I love the Nintendo Switch. I know I've gushed about it a lot.
Yeah, I got a gripe about that damn Switch. So I go on Best Buy and I go on like Target and such like that, and a bundle for Black Friday. How about that?
I don't know. I don't know what are you referring to? You gotta clue me in, buddy.
There's no bundle. There's no Black Friday bundle. Like, what's up?
That's because they're sold out, buddy. The Nintendo Switch is still selling out. In fact, that leads me to, thanks for the segue, to the next thing. Nintendo Switch has sold a total of 8 million Switches, and it hasn't even been out a year. They've almost, probably by Christmas, they will have eclipsed the entire lifetime sales of the Wii U in less than a year.
I mean, that's not a high bar.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, the Wii U was like 11 million, I think, actually.
I think it made
I'm looking at the Wikipedia now. Wii U sold 13.56 million. And it came out in 2012. Holy shit. 2012.
Yeah. It was a mid-gen release.
Yeah. So the Wii U lasted 5 years. It only did 13 million. The only other thing that did lower than that in recent memory is where is it? I'm looking at a giant list of video games here, or video game systems. What the fuck is that shit? I'm trying to find the PlayStation Vita. Vita even on here? Oh, it's not on here. Oh, I gotta look at all consoles. Okay, never mind. PS Vita did 15 million. Actually, Vita did better than Wii U. Ouch. But they're fast eclipsing that. Like, Nintendo Switch is on fire. Nintendo announced today that they are purchasing more space at another production factory with plans to make 30 more million Nintendo Switches before their next fiscal year is over, because they're selling out as fast as they can make them. And they've been doing that since fucking March, which is crazy. So there you have it.
Yeah, I want to get one for Odyssey, and I can't find one.
Odyssey is very good, by the way. I've been playing that for several weeks now. Odyssey is fantastic. Odyssey is also... Yeah?
What other games have you been playing, Dame? I mean, we talked a lot about Destiny, right?
Yeah. I jumped into the DLC for Horizon. It's pretty...
No spoilers?
No spoilers. It's pretty good. It was funny because Tim had texted me earlier, like yesterday, about us. It's pretty much true. Like, if you're a Horizon fan, this is for you. It's more what you like. More gameplay, more side quests. The story is pretty good. It's just more Horizon. You know, it's new machines. Not too many, but enough for a DLC. And it's 8 hours long, roughly. That's the base of the storyline of the DLC, which is pretty good because the main storyline in Horizon is about 8 hours long.
I have no idea how the fuck you beat the main Horizon storyline at 8 hours. It took both me and my girlfriend like 15, 17 hours.
Well, that's if you're, literally going nonstop, straight. It's because if you take into consideration side quests. And,
I guess I did all the cauldrons, so.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. For those who don't know, cauldrons are basically like, they're basically dungeons in Horizon. Don't worry about it.
Let's say thanks for that, because I haven't played Horizon.
really good.
It's fantastic.
It's really good. I've been playing that. I've been catching up on Life is Strange.
That is not a video game.
the Before the Storm. So the second season of Life is Strange. I've been trying to get into my backlog, so I've been playing pretty much anything that was been sitting there. Like for some reason, I had an itch to play Need for Speed. Don't know why, but I finished the storyline off. It's like, okay, fine, whatever. Batman. I'm almost done with the Telltale Batman. It's pretty good. That is a really good series. It's not, to me, it's not as good as the first season, but it's pretty damn good.
Still haven't beat the first season. I need to do that.
It's pretty good. Yeah,
I played the first episode twice. I did it once when it came out, and then I did it again more recently with my girlfriend. But yeah, I need to finish the first season of Batman since I'm a big Batman fan.
We played Heavy Rain.
Yeah,
I did some of that. You know, I'm trying to trophy hunt that now.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of trophies, did you know that if you go to Sony Rewards right now, and only in the US, and first of all, big up front, it's not retroactive. But if you enable it right now, any platinum trophy you earn, you can redeem for real PSN store credit.
Yeah, that's a big reason why I started trophy hunting. It sucked that it's not retroactive because I have so many of these. I was like, oh my gosh, I got like at least 3 games here.
I have one.
So the way it works on PSN trophy-wise for in-store cash is, first of all, I think it's awesome Sony's doing it. And yeah, it's not a ton of store credit. The ratio is you have to have 10 platinum trophies, which is 100% completion of a game, equals $10. But at the same time, even though that's a low amount, that's really cool for moving forward. You know, the lifetime of PlayStation. You know, PlayStation's probably still going to be around for many years to come, one would hope.
Yeah.
And then also for, you know, anybody who's, you know, unfortunately poor or just, you know, broke, you know, doesn't have money, they can, you know, they could rent a game or something, or, you know, maybe you're one of those guys out in the boonies who's never connected his console to online, and like, retroactively redeems, and you got like probably like fucking $60 or something right there. You know what I mean? It's really cool, and I'm glad Sony's doing it. Speaking of backlog, Dame, so I never beat LA Noire.
Oh wow!
And yeah, I got about halfway through it, and then I think I fell off. But I did buy it or pre-buy it for the Switch. Even though because they're having a remastered version coming to Xbox One and PS4 with, you know, 4K, 1080p, 60 frames a second visuals, that sort of thing, on November 17th. I bought the Switch version because the Switch is an awesome thing because like I play in bed for like a little bit and then I go to sleep, and it's awesome because it can just be there, you know, and I don't. Anyway, it's great. I always trump up that particular feature of the Switch. But LA Noire seems awesome because it's a nice story game. It's Rockstar. It's, you know, going to be really long and stuff. But there are actually some differences, specifically on the Nintendo Switch version compared to Xbox One and PS4. Apparently, Xbox One and PS4 are straight upgrade ports, whereas the Nintendo Switch version is actually specialized a little bit.
I would like to play that because I've on the Switch because I actually thoroughly enjoyed it on PS3.
Yeah, I'm not saying I didn't enjoy it. I'm just saying it's one of those games that fell off into my backlog. So the Switch version has specific Switch features, both motion controls, and it's also got touchscreen support. So like when you're inspecting items and like there's a video going around right now of like, you know, turning a safe and that sort of stuff. It also supports HD Rumble, which if nobody's experienced it, it actually is the future and it's amazing. And everything they say about it is true, no lie. But the interrogation system in LA Noire is actually changed, just the wording. There's an article here from Polygon where it says that the original interviewing, when you were interviewing suspects, because you're an LAPD cop in the 1950s, I think, you had truth, doubt, or lie. And it was kind of weird because every time you did doubt, your police officer would basically go batshit bad cop, basically. And everybody's like, what the hell? So they have actually renamed those options in the game called good cop, bad cop, and accuse. And there's a little quote on Polygon here from the original writer from the game. He says, when I originally wrote it, the questions you asked were coax, force, and lie. So force was a more aggressive answer, and that's where we actually recorded it. He says, but then when the game came out, it was truth, doubt, and lie. So everyone says that Aaron is the main character. On the second question goes psycho, but that's just the way we wrote it from before. So they basically changed it back to more like how it was originally written, which is kind of a nice touch. So I'm looking forward to playing that on the Switch on the 17th, along with the Skyrim on Switch, which has been long. It was in the Switch reveal trailer. And so I'm actually kind of looking forward to jumping into Skyrim. And the reports are interesting about that because they say in a lot of the previews, they're like, oh my God, it's Switch on handheld. But there's one thing that's not like regular Skyrim. And then they're like, it doesn't crash.
Well, thank God.
What is this, like the 9th time they brought back out Skyrim?
Something like that. I mean, they had the remaster last winter. And I remember watching my girlfriend play it on the Xbox One, and it was crashier than the 360 version. I was like, what the fuck? How the hell?
That's Bethesda, though. Like, Fallout is glitchy as hell.
Well, the rumor is that the Switch version is actually the least crashiest version of Skyrim, which is fucking weird.
Yeah.
But either way, it'll be cool to play that and, do all the things that I didn't do the first time around. And then the final thing that I have on the docket here, and this is definitely in the technology and gaming department, hell has frozen over. Chip maker rivals AMD and Intel have officially announced a partnership. So for those who don't know, Intel has made all of the processor chips and probably all the laptops and stuff and computers you've ever owned. And if it wasn't, it was made by AMD. AMD makes all the chips in all of the video game consoles, as well as graphics processors. And so apparently, they have teamed up because they want to kill NVIDIA. So Intel is going to be making the main chip processors, the things that they've been good at, because they've been actually struggling in the graphics department, whereas AMD hasn't. So they say under the partnership, next generation Intel chips will have beefy Intel chips coupled with AMD's powerful graphics processing. So that's crazy. It's not a buyout. It's not a takeover. It's a partnership.
A team up.
With two of like the longest rivals. It's kind of wild, to be honest.
Yeah, it sounds kind of crazy.
Yeah. And I was actually talking to my coworker about this, just because it's, it's things you talked about your coworker when you're bored. And, there's been a lot of talk, particularly on this show, about how the new A11 Bionic Neural Net chip in the iPhone X is as powerful as a low-end 2017 MacBook Pro, like literally. And so my partner pointed out, and he's no tech analyst or anything. He was like, I wonder if Intel and AMD are partnering now because they know the apocalypse of Apple kicking Intel to the curve is coming. And I was like, that's a good point, buddy.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Not.
Anyway, so it'd be interesting. Like maybe the next generation of Xbox and PS4 will be an Intel chip powered with AMD graphics.
I think doesn't the Xbox One X run off the AMD? Didn't they confirm that?
All current consoles, with the exception of the Switch, run a AMD combo CPU GPU. Both the PS4 up to the Pro, as well as the One X or the Xbox One comma, S, comma, X. God damn it, Microsoft
Xbox.
and your fucking naming conventions.
Xbox, Xbox One X, Xbox One Xbox, Xbox One Xbox X. Xbox.
Yeah, and now we have to say, instead of Xbox One, we have to say the original Xbox or OG Xbox.
I say OG Xbox.
Fucking Microsoft. God damn you.
I say OG Xbox too.
Yeah.
With your shitty names. But yeah, it's neat. All right. Do you guys got anything else to talk about on the show?
Fortnite.
Oh yeah, that's another game that I've been playing. Fortnite.
Yeah. Tim has brought me into the Fortnite fold, as it were.
But PUBG itch. Pretty good.
I haven't played PUBG, but I played Fortnite, and it's one of the things like, hey, we can play Destiny 2 and rank up the clan, or we can play Fortnite and have some fun. Because there hasn't been a game. Well, I can't lie and say that I'm not playing a lot of Paladins too, because I am that guy. But it's one of those things like Fortnite gets my heart's pumping. I'm going crazy. I'm calling out. Tim's screaming in the background. We're like, he's in the corner. And then, we get the kill or we don't get the kill. And then it's one of those things like, wow, a game like that's what I kind of want the PvP in Destiny to feel like, because you guys know I'm a Destiny mark. It hasn't changed that much, but it's nice to know that I am playing other games, so it's not like it was the last time the three of us have talked. I'm actually expanding out to other games, so Destiny 2, Paladins, and Fortnite. That's what I'm playing.
It can get pretty intense. I think the closest I got was fourth place out of the 100. I almost had a chicken dinner, but so close. And I feel like I got robbed because I was in the bushes. Okay, and I shoot. I see one guy coming. I snipe him, and for some reason, it's like the aiming as far as sniping in Fortnite, you can't shoot them directly where they're at. You have to shoot them where they're going if they're mobile, because there's no bullet trace.
It has bullet arc.
Yeah, it's bullet drop.
And it also has bullet drop off based on distance.
Yeah, man. And I'm like, dude, I just shot this person twice in the head. He took nothing. What the hell is going on? And so by the second shot, they found out where I was shooting from, and I guess someone else was sitting in like a tree or something overhead, and so the bullet flew from, and I got killed. I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me.
Tim and I got a winner. We were the last team standing.
I recorded it. It was the greatest thing ever. So we played. Was it last weekend?
Last weekend, yeah. When it finally we finally had time to play.
Yeah. We dropped into Tomato Town. We got some basic bitch guns, all whites, low tier, and we just destroyed Tomato Town. Got all the metal. We went to the tunnel next to it, and we built a mega metal fort underneath it, because you can't destroy around the mountain or whatever. And we had walls, 5 walls of metal deep. And we just waited it out. And luckily, the entire game focused directly, literally, where we built our base. So
you didn't have to budge. Yeah,
we didn't have to budge at all. And people came and tried to break in with rockets and grenades.
It didn't work for them.
They'd get maybe 2 layers deep. Other people would come, kill them. By the time it came so low that we had to move out of there, we moved out of the cave basically, and the wall of death is 2 inches from our face, and we're creeping along the wall, and we go up on top of where we had built our base, and there's basically it looked like archaic structure, something from the old ages. There's just bits of building hanging everywhere, forts everywhere, dead loot just hanging around, glowing everywhere, and it's holy shit.
That's hilarious.
It was 2 groups. They were stacked on top. They were on top of us. They built up and we built in. And One of the funniest moments was I was watching one door because we put doors in just because we were that guy, and I had a shotgun. A guy ran in. I shot him with a shotgun, and he said, "Oh nope, back up, back up, back up, back up," and backed up, and that was it. It was fun. I mean, games like that, man. Whew. I can't not suggest that game. Yeah, it's fun.
It's very fun. It's just a ton of fun, and the most recent update. So a big strategy of the game is hiding in a bush, and the most recent update gave a gold tier consumable where you pull a bush over your head, and you are a bush that can move and shoot. And it is kind of the best because now all of the bushes, that's like, oh my gosh, a bush is safe unless somebody's hiding in it. Now it's like, wait a minute, was that bush always there? Did it move in closer? Is that a person?
Morty, I'm Bush Rick. I was waiting to do that until I actually got the bush, but I'll never get the bush. So
and then there's people like me who will be inside of a bush, inside of a on the map bush. We call it bushception.
Bush on bush on bush.
Yeah, bush on bush axe. Right?
It's super bush. Is what it is.
Yeah, basically. But yeah, that's it's a legitimate strategy because then people run by and they're like, "Wait a minute, that bush too bushy."
Extra bushy.
Let's say we play a little bit after this here, Tim. Is that all right? What are you thinking?
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, this is basically the end of the show, so we might as well do all of our sign-outs now. Damon, Mike, why don't you lead while I find my note?
Okay. Well, you can find me Self-Made Dame. You can find me on Twitter at I am Self-Made Dame, or you can also find me on my Twitch channel at twitch.tv/I'm Self-Made Dame. I do a lot of PvP. I do a lot of Destiny PvP, trials. Shout out to Hellfire eSports, my team. And you can catch me like doing sweats. I can't wait to actually private matches get put in. I can't believe they wouldn't put it in from the start. But once they get implemented, you can definitely see me like run sweats and have fun.
This is Mike, aka Buster Knuckle. You can find me Buster Knuckle 13 on Twitter or at the RNG Cast on Twitter. You can find the RNG Cast if you like hearing us talk about, or hearing me, and sometimes Tim, maybe Dame sometime, talk about Destiny 2. You can find us on anywhere you find podcasts. I guess that would be it, where you can find me. Hopefully Tim has all of his read done and ready.
I do indeed. As always, I'm your host, author, podcaster, gamer, occasional streamer, Tim K.A. Trotter. You can find our stuff at on Facebook, facebook.com/the Fork in Your Ear podcast. You can tweet at us, questions, comments, concerns, or things to be read on the show at GetForkedPod. You can email us, theforkinyourearpodcast@gmail.com. We're, of course, everywhere all podcasts are not sold. Stitcher, Podbean, all over the place, iTunes, all that jazz. I wrote a book called The Citadel, Arrival by same name, Tim K. Trotter, which is available right now on Amazon Kindle Store and iTunes iBookstore for only $2.99. Get a free preview download when you visit those stores. It's a short story, only 160 to 190 pages, depending on the screen size of your device. That's $2.99 on Amazon Kindle and iTunes iBookstore. So buy a book, support this show, because I don't have a Patreon. So please support that way. Would be awesome. And of course, you can find all of my shows and content at www.dynamicworksproductions.com, where you can find links for everything I mentioned there, emails and all that stuff, including links to our sister podcast that I also do weekly, Rising Tide, a Marvel Cinematic Universe podcast, where I talk about all things Marvel. So until next time, Shazam, and also get forked.
Yeah.
We're out.
Nice. The Citadel, Arrival, is the first installment in a series of epic science fiction short stories reminiscent of the Pulp Fiction style. It's a fast-paced story that will take you through twists and turns that you will not expect, until they are thrust upon you with all the force, excitement, and chaos of a plasma cannon blast. The story follows Katarl, a nobody cog in the working wheels of a futuristic society run completely by Megacorp, a corporation that carefully runs and manages the lives of the people living under its sphere of power. On one of Katarl's few and far between days off from work, an outing he had hoped would be fun and relaxing turns into an explosive adventure that drags him kicking and screaming into situations and challenges that will make him question every aspect of his life. Watch this colorful tapestry unfurl as Katarl and his newfound allies find their way through this classic, yet oddly surprising tale of good and evil, where nothing is quite what it appears to be. That's The Citadel, Arrival by author Tim K.A. Trotter, available right now on Amazon Kindle Store and iTunes iBookstore for only $2.99. Thank you for listening to a Dynamic Works production podcast. You can find our podcast at www.dynamicworksproductions.com. Feel free to email us at dynamicworks@mac.com.
This is Dominic Armato, the voice of Guybrush Threepwood, and you're listening to a Dynamic Works production podcast.
Yes, sir.
Hey.
Hey. There is a ton of people in this call.
Yeah, there is.
Hey, man.
What's up, Dame?
What's going on? What's happening?
Not too much, man. How's life?
Oh, life is life. It is what it is.
Sounds like a thing. Were you working today? Or what?
Yeah.
Oh, man. I thought you were, like, streaming or whatnot at, like, whatever in the morning.
No, I used to stream late on Fridays.
Okay.
The life of a pro gamer.
Where the fuck?
Yeah, man. I need her card is pretty good this year, so I think I might.
I've heard the opposite.
I heard the story's awful, but no one plays that shit for this.
Oh, you're talking about the actual game.
Oh. No one plays that shit for the story.
Colin does.
Oh, yeah, he's a very few. Like, whenever I used to get Call of Duty, I just jumped right into multiplayer. Like, it took me months to play through Black Ops 2 storyline. I still couldn't tell you what it's about.
Yeah.
It's like...
Okay, my mic's at another weird angle again. Is this all right?
Yeah, sounds fine.
Okay, cool. What the fuck was the issue I had with your mic last week, Mike?
You said the gain was off.
Can you adjust that? Because I assume it's not changed since then.
Maybe if I go into my settings or something? I don't know.
There's no adjustments on the mic itself?
No, sir.
Okay, well then there should be some shit in Skype preferences for that.
Audio settings?
Yeah, probably.
Question mark?
Yeah, basically.
Standard speaker, test call, microphone's already done. Automatically adjust volume.
So the way we've been doing it, Dame, is we basically roll a dice for whether the topic's life, technology, entertainment, or gaming. So it's always different, keeps us on our toes.
Okay.
It's still more or less basically the same as, when the three of us all stopped doing Fork in Your Ear like 2 years ago. Still do life topics, still do technology, still do entertainment and gaming.
Okay.
I'll roll the dice. I'll tell you what's what, and we'll get into the categories. So while Mike plays with his settings, I'd start thinking of some life, technology, entertainment, and gaming shit.
Oh.
Is that you clicking, Mike?
Yeah, it's me.
Oh, because now I can hear like a fan or something going next to you. Yeah, I hear you moving around and opening shit.
Yeah, is that better?
No. Like it's way louder. We can hear like everything in the room.
I have no idea what to do then.
Shit. Is there a checkbox for like auto mic gain adjustment?
In Skype, no.
There should be. Is there something in your Windows settings or something? I don't know. I don't have a Windows computer.
Let me see here. Do
you have a Windows computer, Dame?
Yeah, but I don't use it.
Oh, you're using your phone?
I use my phone or tablet.
Fair enough. So what did you do there, Mike? It sounds like it got less. It might just be on auto gain.
Yeah, I think that might just be what it is.
All right. Fair enough. We'll have to deal.
Let me just see here. Let me see what I can do here. No, that's not what I want.
Yeah, as you like low talk there, like I can hear it increase. And then I can hear like your fan or whatever is in the background.
Manage audio devices? Sure. Let's see what that does.
Probably.
Oh, that's not what I want to do. That's not what I wanted.
Well, while Mike plays with that, how's your week been, Dame?
Oh, man, it's been busy.
Yeah.
Real busy. Yeah.
Does it get busy for you this time of year?
No, it's been just a crazy week for some reason.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So
okay.
Other than that, it's been pretty calm.
Cool.
But yourself?
On and off, and then today was weird because we tried to do a bunch of jobs and then couldn't because it's Veterans Day.
Yeah.
Which I guess was bad on our part. And actually, I got a funny story involving me and the SWAT team from today.
How does that work?
to tell you about on the podcast. You'll hear.
Is that better?
Oh, talk several sentences, buddy.
Sometimes when I sit alone at night, I think about what do dogs think about, and then I realize it's probably peanut butter.
Yeah, no, that sounds great.
Okay. Yeah, I just had to like lock my volume.
There you go. Lock that shit down. Okie dokie. And let's kick it. You ready, Dame? Oh, fuck. Did we just lose Mike?
No, I'm here.
Oh, okay. The thing went weird. Like, it blew up Dame's picture in my Skype window full, and you went tiny. I thought I lost you. I don't know why I did that. Anyways, all right, everybody ready?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
All right. Cut in. Oh my god, I think Jessica's so fucking mad at me.
Oh.
Why?
Well, she was here, and then I went to the bathroom, and like I thought she was like gonna take a shower, and she's not here. And I got a text that's like, I went to the mall, gonna grab myself some dinner and hang out here for a bit. And I'm like, oh shit. And I was like, "Are you mad at me? I'm wrapping up the show. I'm trying to wrap up as quick as I could." And she's like, "I got hungry." And I'm like, "Oh, I feel legitimately very bad. Like, I told you there was going to be a show. Like, I'm going to make it up to you." And then she's just like, "If you say so." And I'm like, "Oh, fuck. Yeah, I'm in trouble."
Yeah, buddy. Yeah,
well, looks like there's no Fortnite tonight, huh?
Yeah, I should probably go to the mall and try and find it.
You should probably go to the mall and bring your wallet with you, because you're probably gonna have to pull a mic and pay some money, because this is
I mean, I'm a little. I mean, I feel legitimately bad because it's not like I was trying to ignore her or anything.